Greg, last weekend's game was postponed. Perhaps disappointed, maybe frustrated even at that?
Yeah, I think we were ready to go. Obviously, it was very clear by Saturday afternoon that the game had absolutely no chance of going ahead. I was down here to meet the referee Saturday lunchtime, and the pitch was frozen solid. So, with temperatures getting no better, it was obvious to just make the right decision early and call the game off. So yeah, it was a shame that we couldn't get the game in because, like I say, the girls were prepared properly for it. But having said that, it was we had a few girls who were carrying niggles and knocks and sort of thing, so nothing serious. But it just means that we've basically had a full 2 weeks now to fully recover and be in even better shape for this Sunday against Aberystwyth now.
And it is Bute Energy Welsh Cup action against Aberystwyth Town. As you say, it is a chance for the New Saints to progress into the semi-finals of this competition.
Yeah, it's obviously the first time we've reached the quarterfinals of this competition. And we've got an unbelievable chance to make it to the semi-finals. Obviously, Aberystwyth is a team that we've got a great record against. I think in the 5 times that we've played, we've just lost the 1 time, 1 draw, 3 wins. So, we're certainly going into it full of confidence. Obviously, being at home as well, a place that we've got a really good record in recent times at. So, everything's in our favour. Like I say, the extra rest that we've had to get girls back closer to 100%. So, everything's certainly in our favour. So, come Sunday, we'll certainly have no excuses.
And scoring goals certainly isn't a problem for the New Saints because we're on an incredible run at the moment of 33 consecutive games in which we found the back of the net.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable stat. I was writing the programme notes yesterday and sort of just looked back, and I knew it had been a long time. I knew it was over 12 months since we last failed to score, but I looked and, it was Cardiff Met, second game of last season, middle of September. Didn't realise how many games it was until today when I sort of counted back and realised it was 33 games that we'd since we'd last failed to find the back of the net. So it's an unbelievable stat. Obviously, this season in the league, we're the only team to have scored in every game as well. So I think everyone knows that on our day we're one of the best attacking teams in the league. So Aberystwyth will certainly be prepared for that. They're predominantly they're a very sort of well-drilled defensive team as well. They don't score a lot of goals. They don't concede a lot of goals. So, I know we scored 4 goals against them last time. They also scored 3 goals. So it was, a very entertaining game. No doubt this Sunday I'm sure will provide lots more goals. Just hopefully they're all in our favour.
We know all about Aberystwyth Town, of course. Likewise, they know all about the New Saints. But do you feel that with it being a cup competition, it might have a different edge to it?
It's always, I think to be fair, it doesn't really matter what competition, any form for me doesn't really hold too much in terms of the way the game will go. I think it's all down to on the day who's prepared the best. It doesn't matter what competition it's in. Obviously, it's a little one-off cup competition, but like you say, we know each other inside out. So, Sunday will certainly be no different. We'll just treat it as any other league game, and we'll just see what happens as long as we take care of our own jobs, and that's all we can ask.
You mentioned 1 or 2 niggles there that some of the girls had picked up. Do you have your starting 11 in mind based on the fact that most of those will be available this weekend?
Yeah, it's sort of, probably 90-95% of the way there in terms of the starting 11. Also, we've got to sort of consider the possibility that we might have to play Rill from the game on Sunday that was postponed. That possibly might be midweek next week. So that could potentially have a sort of bearing on the starting 11 as well. We might have to chop and change a couple of players here maybe just to make sure that we're in good shape for the real game as well, if that is midweek. But we'll just wait and see what happens there. But like I said a few times this year, regardless of what players go out onto that pitch, will be certainly have a great chance of winning the game.
And as we progress on in December, of course, we draw closer to the transfer window. Are you likely to see many comings and goings at all in January, Greg?
Yeah, well, we'll 100% be bringing players in. Fingers crossed, no players decide to leave. We've built a really strong squad. The girls that we signed at the end of last season, pre-season this year, have been absolutely brilliant. Obviously, unfortunately, picked up the injury to Chloe Shirley, who was just sort of getting sharper and sharper at the start of the season. So she's coming on really well. She's getting closer and closer every week. So she's not far away from potentially being back into training. certainly won't be anytime soon, but she's certainly, I think, a lot further along than what we expected at this time. So she's coming along, but yeah, like I say, it's fingers crossed we don't lose any. But there'll certainly be at least 2, potentially 3 players joining as well.
And finally, Greg, as you mentioned there, we do have an excellent run of form against Aberystwyth Town. 3 victories, 1 draw, just that 1 defeat. Do you feel that going into games like we are on Sunday against them, that past form has any bearing, even if it's just psychological?
I wouldn't say past form, but I just think the run of results that we've had, the way we've been playing, the way we've been scoring lots of goals, certainly our own current form certainly gives us a lot of confidence. We'll be going into Sunday, fully expecting to win. Anything other than a win in 90 minutes will be a disappointment. So we'll be looking to get the job done, very early doors and make it nice and comfortable for ourselves. So yeah, I'd say just the run of form, not necessarily our form against Aberystwyth, but just our general form. Certainly, gives us a lot of confidence.